Hi, this is Zak Mir with the US Chartbreakers here at Zak's Traders Cafe for Friday the 28th of June. Starting off with the S&P, which is still within that rising trend channel from back in September. We are consolidating in a narrow band, which is good, but the lack of volatility also helpful. Hoping that support will come in at and above 54.10, the top of the latest gap, and take us up to as high as 57.40 by basically the end of the summer. Ideally up towards 5600 plus by the end of next month. If we do break down, then the worst case scenario at the moment is 52.67, the area of the 50-day moving average in the floor of the channel, but that was only the old resistance from back in March, and so even that would not be calamitous at this stage. Onto the Nasdaq, where we're hugging the rising trend channel there from basically back in April, and if I remove the longer standing channel, you'll see that we're basically in quite a tight trajectory from back in the spring, and looking for progress towards the top of the channel there as high as 21,000 by the end of next month. Ideally we stay above the floor of the latest gap around 19,200 ahead of a move to 21,000. So relatively simple looking setup there on the Nasdaq 100. Moving on to the situation in the stocks, and Tier is first, and here possible rising trend channel base. We've got multiple days testing that $2.10 area. We've closed above a rising 50-day line at $2.53, and above that looking for the top of the channel there from back in March, $3.80 by the end of next month. New name coming up, and it's Blue Star Foods. Here a bit of a problematic chart in the sense that we've got this falling trend channel after the end of a long bear run. You see the shares trying to regroup, but so far the 50-day line has been the barrier. That's around $3, and we need to see an end-of-day close above that to give the shares a chance of a move up to the top of the channel, $6 sometime during the summer. Ideally, there's no price action now back below the floor of the channel there, which is currently around $1.60, but a difficult situation to say the least there. Moving on to Cassie Pharmaceuticals, and here nice turnaround here, gap through resistance, the old resistance there $4.30, above that looking for the top of the rising trend channel there from back in February, and that's heading for the $9 area, in fact a bit higher, yes, in fact up to $9 by the end of next month. Ideally, there's no break back below the floor of the gap there. $3.80 should cover it on an end-of-day close basis. But the ideal scenario is that we stay above the initial or the latest June peak around $4.30. Moving on to Denali, and here you can see that we've got this rising trend channel which has been in place basically since this time last year. Top of the channel there heading for $18, and we're looking for that while we remain above, well, basically on the right side of $10, which has been the previous resistance to $9.80 to $10, and as I said, $18 a reasonable short-term target after the unfilled gap to the upside through the 50-day moving average, which tends to be a decent signal. On to a stock which we have been looking at before, Lucia, and here rising trend channel in place since October, top of the channel there heading for $5.50, which we're looking for by the end of next month while we remain on the right side of $3.50, basically the latest swing lows for the shares. Moving on to Ercross, and here you can see that we've had another gap to the upside. The situation is that we're looking for progress within a rising trend channel, and at top of the channel here heading towards the area that I'm just about to designate now, so heading towards the $4.80 area. We're looking for that by the end of next month while we remain above recent resistance and the floor of the channel between $3.50 and $3.60. The next situation is one which is called Freightos, and here we're trying to break out of this falling trend channel which has been in place since November. The line in question around $2.60. Above that, looking for the top of a triangle from last year, and that's heading for up to $3.80, hopefully by the end of next month. One of the best rises of the day yesterday was Geovax, and here we hit our target there at the top of that broadening triangle, $3.60. Above that, we're looking for up to $7 by the end of next month, but obviously we need a decent weekly close above $3.60 to deliver that trigger. Only back below $3 really at this stage, and recent broken resistance delaying the upside scenario. The next stock is Carla Bio, and here trying to gap through the 50-day line there around $6.40. Above that, looking for the top of the broadening triangle there from the end of February as high as $10 by the end of next month, and ideally in the meantime we stay on the right side. Yesterday's support, $5.80 on an end-of-day close basis. We looked at Regis recently, and great green candles for the this market. Broadening triangle, the top of the triangle there heading for as high as $34. We're expecting that by the end of next month, about $35, while we remain above the intraday support of yesterday, intraday support zone of $19. On to the last two, and starting off with Troops. Here we've got a broadening triangle base. We've just broken through recent resistance in the $2 area. The longer we stay above that, the greater the chance of $3.60 by the end of next month at the top of that broadening triangle from back in November. Finishing off with Vivacor, and here you see it's a wide rising trend channel. We've made good progress within it over the last month or so. Top of the triangle, rather the channel, heading for $3.50, and we're expecting that the longer we stay above recent broken resistance at $2. That's it from me today. More updates over the weekend.